My name is Gabriel Trujillo. I am the superintendent of the Tucson Unified School District here in Tucson, Arizona. We are one of the largest school districts in the state of Arizona. We serve 42,000 students, and we have just shy of 8,000 employees. In terms of our school district, we operate 100 schools, just shy of 100 schools. Our story began right around 2011. During this time, Arizona and school districts around the state were suffering from the Great Recession's unprecedented cuts to school district budgets. You also had major unemployment that led to a lot of families relocating out of the city of Tucson. So the district, it was very much in dire financial straits in and around the year 2011. The price of power started to skyrocket as the effects of global warming have hit the desert Southwest here in the US harder than anybody else. So you have these forces kind of combining to challenge the district to say, how can we do things differently? By 2015, roughly 1 year after the first solar panel was installed, we had solar panels installed at 43 of the district schools. 20% of the district's power. By 2019, just shortly before the pandemic, we had solar panels fully installed in 80 of our schools, powering almost 50% of the district. We've saved $5.2 million. You take away that $5.2 million, I'm not able to keep my employees with their yearly raises. And then you get into all the nastiness of teachers leaving the district and teacher shortage getting exacerbated and bus drivers not seeing a raise. And that's a hard to fill position. And assistants working in classrooms with students with disabilities not being able to get a raise. So to be able to keep the raises going, knowing that we had these savings to do other stuff like buy buses and replace computer labs, which we would have had to do at the cost of not moving our employees forward. So yeah, for us, it very much was a lifeline in those years.
Energy is the second largest expense for U.S. schools at $8 billion annually. Currently, more than 7,400 schools have figured it out. Outfitting schools to produce renewable energy returns a major chunk of money back to their bottom line operating budgets. Even further, a school district can position themselves for greater revenue in what we call a decentralized energy economy.
250 teachers. And we used to have anywhere from 30 to 40 of them would leave us each year for better jobs. And I think we're down to single digits now. We are in the upper half of the state's salary. We're number one in the area. So we are attracting and retaining. And we look forward to how all that affects our student achievement. Solar gave us a chance to generate funds, to generate money. It became a game changer for us. In our public school budget, it's nothing to have 75 to 85% of your budget is involved in personnel. And so when you can take your utilities, when you can take your footprint of your entire operations and reduce the cost, then you're able to apply that money. Again, you have to work inside the budget of the money you have. Solar generates income then to add to that. Nonprofits, in our case, have never had that option, and solar creates that opportunity.
We're at Al Raby High School on Chicago's west side, where the student attendance is only 14%. Yes, 1-4, very underutilized. Wow, what if this school were a public school plugory? What's a plugory school? It can be described as a renewable energy co-op compound powered by Enerjuice proprietary technology to serve clean energy to this school and maybe even schools in close proximity. This school can generate enough energy to even share with Garfield Park Conservatory across the street. Look, this is the perfect solution for an underutilized school in Chicago. A public school plugory could make the following possible. 1, a zero carbon emission institution right across the street from a conservatory. 2, A renewable energy vocational training lab. 3, a senior rejuvenation lounge equipped with kinetic energy fitness devices. And more EV fast chargers for the local community. You can load this street up with them. Storing clean energy for long periods of time is the second most important part of a decentralized energy economy. Plugory storage solutions need to be able to handle long periods of reduced generation if we are to fully utilize the excessive generation we get in the summer. This type of storage can be handled by mechanical storage. The Enerjuice hex wheel deals with such a situation. A hex wheel can withstand extreme temperatures and face essentially no degradation over 100,000 charging cycles, as opposed to batteries at 10,000 charging cycles. Charging cycles only limit the time for which the storage solution can work in the amount of its installed capacity. Now, a hex wheel can be serialized, parallelized, and modularized into a hub containing a controller, an inverter, and multiple hex wheels. Each individual unit can talk to each other unit with a constant monitoring. A damaged unit can easily be replaced without affecting the entire hex wheel hub. Okay, I'll give you a sneak peek at a hex wheel and a use case with the Chicago Public Schools. As U.S. Environmental Protection Agency rolls out the new Clean School Bus program, CPS is tasked with converting transportation from fossil-fueled to electronic vehicles. The greatest logistics challenge that all large school bus fleets will face is the drastic difference in refueling time, which is approximately 20 minutes, versus charging time, which is approximately 2.5 to 3 hours based upon the current buses being purchased. Upon converting just half of CPS school bus fleet, which is approximately 670 buses, to electric, a demand for charging 20 or more buses simultaneously becomes mandatory to ensure that the fleet is always properly powered to adhere to a scheduled logistics demand. To have 20 or more EV charging ports operating at the fastest rate the EVs can accept is only achieved two ways: spending a few billion to upgrade the current grid holding the large bus facility, or install an Enerjuice hex wheel. A hex wheel is a clean energy storage device that is specifically engineered to provide the best modern day solution for 1. Optimizing energy consumption costs, 2. Sustaining multiple simultaneous fast charging ports at a facility, and 3. Selling surplus energy. An Enerjuice hex wheel is the future. Enerjuice provides 3 options for implementing your public school Plugory model. Option 1, a power purchase agreement. This is really simple. Buy energy at max 40% of your current cost. Over the next 3 years, we work with you to get that cost to virtually zero. Option 2, distribution node ownership. Own a Plugory distribution node and generate revenue by selling surplus energy and participating in federally supported clean energy distribution programs. The cost of ownership is virtually 3 times the cost of option 1, but you see greater returns faster. Option 3, a clean energy equity blueprint. For only 0.001% of a school district's total budget, get a system cost deductible consultation to deliver exact clean energy calculations and a solid step-by-step strategy for using renewable energy to strengthen operating budgets and increase teacher pay. Some states are deregulated when it comes to utility companies, while other states still need to make that step. So minor legislative reform may be required for a school district to maximize return on investment of renewable energy generated at a Plugory school. Additional tools to aid in reform derive from data showing positive impact on a school system, a local community, and U.S. EPA mission. Public transit systems benefit from strikingly similar deregulation and reform. Wow. The need for bus fleet electrification allows for alliances between school districts and public transit authorities to drive reform that drastically reduces budget deficits for both entities. With necessary legislation in place, a Plugory school is positioned to increase an owner's stake in a rapidly expanding $23 trillion global renewable energy and EV market. Stakeholders of Open Plugory Network will engage Plugory distribution node owners to support them with training resources, technical support, and community outreach.